What does due diligence look like? If you're somebody who says, I want to buy a business, I don't want to start it. I'm not a 1.0 kind of entrepreneur, maybe a 2.0. I talked to a wealthy man I knew one time. He goes, well, the world will never know if I can start a business, but they'll know that I know how to run a business and grow a business. There are a lot of people who are like that. So if I wanted to come in and buy a business that's successful in an area that I thought would have growth and it fit my aptitude, what due diligence should I do?
It's one of the most significant decisions the buyer will make is who do they staff and help them with due diligence? Mm-hmm. To what degree do they execute due diligence? Due diligence, the extent of it depends on the who the seller is. Mm-hmm. But most often there are anywhere from 5 to 10 areas of due diligence that the buyer needs to consider. Financial, tax due diligence. Financial, you're looking at the quality of the earnings, and tax goes with that. The tax history of the seller, how the deal will get structured from a tax standpoint. That's most often done by a CPA firm, what they call transactional due diligence. HR and cultural due diligence are often underestimated in significance. Some of the greatest problems that buyers have after they buy the company are HR issues. Spend hours talking about regret there. Who they hire for HR due diligence and cultural due diligence. There's often this courtship where buyer and seller come across as, wow, we're similar companies, we're just bigger, and there are no two cultures that are exactly the same. And cultural differences cause lots of problems in cultural integration. Legal, I can share stories of if we had only had the lawyer early on do an extensive legal due diligence and discovered that, hey, you, the seller, don't actually own the trademarks you've been building your company on, but now it's time to sell and the buyer discovers you don't own the trademarks. That seems pretty basic, but surprisingly, when you don't do due diligence early as the seller, you can miss some things that haven't affected running your business, but affect due diligence. But just to round them out, operational due diligence, where you're looking at inventory in manufacturers. Commercial due diligence has been a game changer for some of my clients where they hire a third party to investigate the supply channels, the reputation of the seller in the marketplace. And we discovered some things that have caused our deals not to close. And it's not regret, it's a win because we discover things that we didn't understand early on. And that's commercial due diligence. But environmental, insurance, IT, there are many different areas of due diligence, and you've got to think holistically about all of them. It's not like a checklist. You're not checking things off. It's doing a thorough job on due diligence and then saying, what does this mean about buying the company and the terms of the deal, the risk I'm taking on, and what does it mean for how I'm going to handle as the buyer the integration of buyer and seller.